Welcome to Exam Sale. In this short guide we will walk through the CSA Certificate of Cloud Security Knowledge syllabus and show exactly what each domain covers and how much study time to allocate. This exam covers 16 domains with exact weighting so you can prioritize study time and practice scenarios. The domain weights are: Cloud Controls Matrix 7%, Cloud Computing Concepts and Architecture 7%, Governance and Enterprise Risk Management 7%, Legal Issues, Contracts and Electronic Discovery 7%, Infrastructure Security 7%, NISA Cloud Computing Risk Assessment 6%, Compliance and Audit Management 6%, Information Governance 6%, Management Plane and Business Continuity 6%, Virtualization and Containers 6%, Incident Response 6%, Application Security 6%, Data Security and Encryption 6%, Identity, Entitlement and Access Management 6%, Security as a Service 6%, and Related Technologies 5%. Each domain lists difficulty, estimated learning hours and assessment type so you know whether questions will be conceptual, scenario-based, or both. Cloud Controls Matrix is weighted at 7%, marked medium difficulty with about 5 hours recommended, and assessed conceptually and with scenarios. You will learn the CCM structure and architecture, how control IDs are organized, and how CCM maps to regulatory frameworks. The domain also covers the Consensus Assessments Initiative Questionnaire, the CAKE relationship to CCM, and how to use CAKE for vendor selection and provider transparency. Cloud Computing Concepts and Architectures is 7%, considered easy with roughly 3 hours of study, and tested with conceptual and scenario questions. This domain teaches NIST cloud definitions including the 5 essential characteristics and the 3 service models SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS, plus the 4 deployment models. You will also learn the shared responsibility model in detail and how responsibility shifts between provider and consumer across service models. Governance and Enterprise Risk Management carries 7%, is medium difficulty, requires about 4 hours of study, and is scenario-based. Candidates will learn cloud governance frameworks that align corporate and IT policies, governance across service models, and third-party management strategies. The portion covers cloud-specific risk identification, mitigation options, residual risk, supply chain risk, and stakeholder reporting. Legal Issues, Contracts and Electronic Discovery is 7%, medium difficulty, and about 5 hours of study with conceptual and scenario assessments. You will master legal and regulatory frameworks including jurisdictional considerations, privacy and data protection laws, data residency and sovereignty, and intellectual property implications. The discovery topics include the EDRM model, data identification challenges, preservation, chain of custody in multi-tenant environments, and contractual support for legal holds. Infrastructure Security is 7%, rated hard with around 6 hours recommended, and includes both conceptual and scenario-based assessment. This domain covers cloud network security such as VPCs, subnets, micro-segmentation, SDN security, bastion hosts, and network monitoring and logging. It also addresses workload and compute security like OS hardening, golden images, vulnerability management, workload isolation, and patching strategies for immutable infrastructure. NISA Cloud Computing Risk Assessment is 6%, easy difficulty, and about 3 hours of study with conceptual and scenario questions. You will study NISA top risks including organizational and policy risks, technical risk identification, legal and compliance gaps, lock-in and interoperability issues, and data remnants concerns. The domain explains NISA recommendations and how to apply them to cloud risk analyses. Compliance and Audit Management is 6%, medium difficulty, estimated at 4 hours, and assessed conceptually and with scenarios. Learn continuous audit requirements, third-party audit reports like SOC 2 and ISO, audit scope and evidence collection, and how shared audit responsibility works in the cloud. The domain also covers standardization of audit protocols and assurance levels and certifications. Information Governance is 6%, hard difficulty, about 5 hours of study, and tested conceptually and with scenarios. You will learn data lifecycle and governance including information classification, custodianship and ownership, retention and disposal policies, and policy enforcement in cloud storage. Handling sensitive and regulated data and mapping governance rules to cloud services are key outcomes. Management plane and business continuity is 6%, medium difficulty, estimated 4 hours, and scenario-based. The management plane topics show how to secure administrative interfaces, distinguish management plane from data plane, protect APIs, and enforce segregation of duties for administrators. Business continuity covers BCDR planning for cloud outages, backup and replication, RPO and RTO, regional availability, and resilience testing. Virtualization and containers is 6%, medium difficulty, about 4 hours, and assessed conceptually and with scenarios. Candidates learn virtualization security including hypervisor risks, VM escape mitigation, resource isolation, and inter-VM communication concerns. Container security topics include image and registry protection, orchestration security for Kubernetes, runtime protection, and the ephemeral nature of container workloads. Incident response is 6%, medium difficulty, roughly 4 hours of study, and scenario-focused. This domain teaches the cloud incident life cycle from preparation through detection, containment, eradication, and recovery, along with provider notification and SLA considerations. You will also learn forensic investigation challenges in shared infrastructure and conducting post-incident analysis and reporting. Application security is 6%, hard difficulty, with about 5 hours recommended and both conceptual and scenario questions. The focus is secure SDLC and DevOps integration, securing CI/CD pipelines, application testing using SAST and DAST, API security, and threat modeling for cloud-native apps. You will also learn SecDevOps automation and cloud-native application security patterns. Data security and encryption is 6%, hard difficulty, estimated at 6 hours, with conceptual and scenario assessment. Topics include encryption at rest and in transit, key management life cycle, client-side versus server-side encryption, use of HSMs and cloud HSM services, and data masking and tokenization. The domain also covers data remnants and secure deletion strategies to protect persistent and replicated data. Identity, entitlement and access management is 6%, medium difficulty, about 5 hours of study, and scenario-based. You will learn IAM architecture including identity providers and federation, SAML OAuth and OpenID Connect, RBAC and ABAC models, multi-factor authentication, and privileged access management. The domain shows how to design access controls and manage entitlements across cloud services. Security as a service is 6%, easy difficulty, estimated 3 hours, and assessed conceptually and with scenarios. This domain covers SEC CAH categories such as identity services, web and email security, security assessment and monitoring, SIM and intrusion management, and encryption services from the cloud. You will learn how to evaluate SEC CAH offerings and integrate them into an organization's security stack. Related technologies is 5%, medium difficulty, about 3 hours, and includes conceptual and scenario questions. The focus is on security implications of emerging technologies like big data, IaaS in the cloud, serverless computing, AI and ML, mobile cloud integration, and edge computing. Candidates will learn threat models and mitigation strategies specific to each technology. That concludes the syllabus walkthrough. Use the domain weights, difficulty levels, and estimated hours to build a study plan. Focus on scenario practice, and revisit harder domains like infrastructure, data encryption, and application security before the exam.